That single from Freilich drove in Gallagher. It was his first RBI as an Angler. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a liner to right center. It drops down in right field for a base hit. Back-to-back singles for Chase Freilich, and the Anglers are seeing everything that Petty is throwing.
Those last couple of hits by Gallagher and now Freilich, these aren't just little pesky hits like some of the ones Chatham has broken through with over these last couple games. These balls are smoked.
The Anglers already have 4 runs on 4 hits. First pitch to Daniel Jackson. Skips in the dirt. It's 1-0. 1 runner on first. It's Freilich, nobody else. 2 gone in the top of the second. Chatham up 4-0. The Anglers have already pushed across 3 runs in this frame. 1-0 to Jackson. Takes strike 1 right down the middle. Drew a hard-fought walk his last time up. 1-1. Low and inside. Ball 2. And Petty, who began fastball heavy, has now started to lean on the off-speed. But he's missing his spots. 2-1. Rocketed out to right field. A high fly ball that twists foul. Lands in the trees. Jackson told to straighten it out from the dugout. Just slightly behind on that ball.
That comment has always confused me.
Straighten
at all
it out?
levels of baseball. Don't you think if he knew how to straighten it out, he would have?
That's all coaching, I assume. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Petty ends the frame on a strikeout, but Chatham does a whole lot of damage. The Anglers pick up 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and leave 1 runner on base as the offense is coming alive at Bourne Park. On the other side, Luke Jackson is back. He's only faced 4 batters. The A's have almost batted around twice. Back in just a moment on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment banking, and trust services. Cape Cod 5, a community bank committed to service. We welcome you back to Bourne Park. Chatham on top 4-0 in the bottom of the second. With Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. Luke Jackson back on for a second inning of work. He faces 5, 6, and 7. John LeGrand, Ryan Cooney, and Nick Groves. Jackson agrees on the sign. Righty on lefty. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Fastball low, got LeGrand to hack over the top of it. For the first 2 games, John LeGrand made starts in center against Chatham. Today he starts in left. 0-1, hit on the ground right side. Mendoza scoops it up at second, fires to first, and there's 1 gone. Fielded a similar ground ball from Logan Hughes in the beginning of Bourne's order today. He executes both of them to bring up Ryan Cooney in the 5 spot. Rather batting in the 6 hole today. Cooney on his tippy toes in the right-handed box. Ticks the bat. Here's the first pitch. Low and away on a fastball, just ever so slightly missing from Jackson. Sky is still a bright, bright blue. Not a cloud in sight over Bourne Park. 1-0. Tails inside. It's 1-1. Jackson's been working around the edges on the first 2 pitches to Cooney. Here's the 1-1. Cracked back up the middle. Mendoza fields at second. Throw to first in time, and Ethan Mendoza has put away the first 2 batters in the bottom of the second. He's got 3 assists today.
He had a couple of early errors on the Cape League season, including a consequential one in that 7-7 tie where Chatham blew a late lead against Hyannis. It's been sure-handed the last week or so.
He has really settled into his spot. That brings up Nick Groves from the left side. First pitch, called strike right down the middle. Groves, the center fielder from Illinois, was the one to replace LeGrand in center today. Here's the 0-1. Bounces in the dirt off the glove of Miller and takes a slow roll onto the track behind home plate.
We had already seen Bourne twice. I started filling out my scorebook, and I started writing John LeGrand into center field.
You almost figured he'd be there. 1-1. Cracked back up the middle. Lane from short makes the grab. The throw to first drops out of the glove of Freilich. He's safe. It was a tough play for Lane to make. Range to his left and fielded the ball behind the second base bag. Then fired off balance. It was a low skipping ball to Freilich, who had it in his glove. It just popped out. So Nick Groves reaches. It's ruled as an infield single. It's the second hit of the day given up by Luke Jackson. And in steps Jimmy Keenan, the catcher. First pitch from Jackson. At the letters, ball 1. Keenan has Bourne's lone error today on a throw down to third that missed third baseman Cade Lewis badly and trickled into left field. It brought home Ethan Mendoza. Check on first, not in time. That run scored by Ethan Mendoza was Chatham's 4th. The A's currently still lead 4-0. Bottom of the second, 2 gone. Runner on first is Nick Groves. Here's the 1-0. Taken at the knees for a strike. Slider low and away on Keenan. He takes his time before stepping back in. Black and gold bat to match his black and gold Wake Forest helmet. 1-1. Throw down to first. Safe. Pitch was ruled a strike down the middle. Miller darted up and fired down to first as Groves. 1-1. Throw down to first. Safe. Pitch was ruled a strike down the middle. Miller darted up and fired down to first as Groves still had a bit of a lead, and that leads Bourne. So a slow bouncer of a hit for Bourne is all the Braves get in the bottom of the second. When we return, it's Freeman, Hanley, and Miller to face Zane Petty. The Anglers' offense is hot.
Chatham A's on the air. shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring.
Netting Professionals is proud to be the official netting partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Whether it's batting practice equipment, facility netting, custom wall padding, or so much more, Netting Professionals is the top choice in the industry for facility equipment solutions. Visit nettingpros.com today to learn more. Chatham up to bat. It's Jackson Freeman, Jake Hanley, and Noah Miller facing a new right-hander on the bump. That right-hander is number 13, Nate, walking 3 batters and striking out 4. Freeman digs in from the left side to lead it off. And striking out 4. And striking out 4. Freeman digs in from the left side to lead it off. Thanks. Last game, though, went 1 for 3 with 2 walks. 1-1. Skips in the dirt. Fastball was low and away, and Keenan had to flash the leather mitt to snag it out to his left side.
And Chatham manager Dennis Cook, who is currently meandering through.
Skips in the dirt. Away. Flash.
Through a crowd of spectators on his way back from the lavatory, told me before the game that's to be expected in the Cape League.
2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Dennis Cook leaving for the bathrooms is also expected in the Cape League, just to walk through
Apparently.
fans.
Yeah, not something you would see in a minor or major league ballpark, but here we are.
Bourne Park, not quite minor or major league. 2-2. At the knees, a called strike 3. Freeman strikes out looking, the first batter to face Wysong. Heads back to the dugout.
But Dennis said, you know, the combination between the wood bat and then so many players having a long layoff between the time the college season ends and the Cape League starts.
First pitch to Jake Hanley. Tails inside on a fastball. It's 1-0. Guys need that time to get adjusted. Some quicker than others. The wood bat, a big difference. 1-0. Clips the bottom outside corner, and Hanley shakes his head. It's 1-1.
A lot of the players will tell you, oh, there's no difference. I mean, literally, according to the physics, there is a difference.
I know nothing about the periodic table, but I will say that. 1-1. Off the glove of Keenan, it tailed inside. It's 2-1.
Periodic table's more biology, I think. I really don't know.
Well, I think this is kind of a question of biology. The materials things are made out of, metal versus wood. Those are 2 different substances. 2-1. Called strike on the inner half. The fastball, it's Hanley shaking his head again. He is not agreeing with this zone from home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 gone. Base path's empty. Chatham on top 4-0 in the top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. 3-2. Hanley, one of those guys who took a while to get adjusted. Had 2 hits for his first around 7 games. And then last game had 2 hits in 1 game. 3-2 is low and inside. It's ball 4. So Hanley draws a walk in 2 consecutive games. Makes his way down to first. Gives way for a fellow Big Ten man in the catcher Noah Miller. Miller from the right side. Led off the 2nd with a walk. First pitch. Grounded on a high hop left side. Collected at third. The throw to second for one. The relay to first in time. A double play. It was a high chopper that went directly into the glove of Lewis at third. He flipped his hips and fired to second. And it was a smooth relay to first to get both Hanley and Noah Miller and end the inning. Facing the minimum. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Anglers. On the other side, it's the Braves' bottom of the order when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Cape Cod Baseball League and shares a reminder that when you donate blood, you give someone the gift of life. Blood donated through Cape Cod Healthcare benefits your friends, family, and neighbors across Cape Cod. Learn more and schedule a donation appointment at www.capecodhealth.org/give-blood. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring, commitment, and community. Bottom three on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham on top 4-0. With Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. It's Riker Waite standing in for the first time
now
today.
Batting from Vanderbilt, number 3,
he faces
Riker
the right-hander
Waite.
Luke Jackson. 8 batters on Chatham have already batted twice before Waite makes his way to the left-handed batter's box. The 9-hole hitter's ready. Jackson, long look in, now deals. Fastball low for ball 1. After Waite, it's Logan Hughes and Braden Holcomb, 1 and 2 in the Bourne order. 1-0. Rocketed right side and fair. It drops down for a base hit. Waite takes a long turnaround first, now puts the brakes on and shuffles back. It's a lead-off single for Riker Waite in his first game back
now
in 4
from
days.
Texas Tech, number 14, Logan Hughes.
So that brings up Logan Hughes as the lineup turns over. A left-hander is 0 for 1 today after he grounded out to Mendoza to begin Bourne's day at the plate. 1 on, nobody gone. Bottom of the third. Chatham on top 4-0. First pitch to Hughes is swung on and missed. A massive hack. Hughes was searching for his... First pitch to Hughes is swung on and missed. A massive hack. Hughes was searching for his ball before he squared it up. That brings up Braden Holcomb from the right side. He always takes his time. Very used to seeing Holcomb take a while to stand in. This is the 3rd game of the season between Chatham and Bourne. Holcomb has played at first base in all 3 games. First pitch, rocket foul. Out ahead of the off speed from Luke Jackson. Miller flashes the signs. Jackson has yet to agree on a pitch. Shakes off Miller a few times now. They agree. Here's the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Runs the count to 0-2. Jackson has looked much more confident than his last time out. He's hit the zone and got ahead of counts. Has still yet to walk a batter today. Walked 4 in 4 innings in his last appearance. The 0-2. Runs inside and escapes the glove of Miller. Waite scampers up to second base on the wild pitch, and it's 1-2. Jackson really reared up on that fastball. Tried to get him up and in, and instead missed the zone entirely. 1-2 with one gone. Runner at second. Chatham up 4-0 in the bottom of the third. Jackson's pitch, runner takes off for third. The throw down from Miller is high, and Gallagher has to sky to grab that ball. It's a stolen base for Riker Waite. And in a matter of 2 pitches, he's gone from first to third with 1 out. Now this changes a lot. Fly ball that goes deep enough. Now scores Riker Waite, where it would have just advanced him to third otherwise. 2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3. Now Jackson getting some encouragement from his dugout. He had Holcomb in an 0-2 count. Now Holcomb's battled back to have it full. Here's the payoff. Low and away, ball 4. A battle with Braden Holcomb ends in a 1-out walk. And it puts runners on the corners. Bourne brings Cade Lewis to the plate. A 3-hole hitter is struck out looking already today. One of 3 strikeouts picked up by Klein. Holcomb beats it by half a step. Jackson comes set at the belt. From the stretch. Low and away. Ball 1. This is the first real difficult situation Jackson has faced today. Waite marks the first runner in scoring position for Bourne on the afternoon. 1-1. Swing and a lofted ball out to left field. Hanley backpedals on it in left and makes the grab. Waite tagging from third. The throw goes to second. And it's the first run of the day for the Braves. 4-1 Anglers in the bottom of the third.
Now batting from Minnesota, number 22.
Being held on by Frelick. 1-1. Cut and a miss. Being held on by Frelick. 1-1. Cut and a miss. Rather 1-2. Off-speed pitch that dipped below the bat. Speed pitch that dipped below the bat. Neal's offered over the top of it. 1-2 with 2 gone. Runner on first. Chatham up 4-1. Bourne has already pushed across a run in the inning. 2. Runner takes off. Pitch is grounded left side. Scooped up by Gallagher. Off balance throw. Picked up by Frelick. They got him. A massive off-balance throw from Gallagher ranged into foul ground from third base. Scooped it up and fired across his body, across the diamond. And Frelick, after losing it out of his glove, snow-coned it back up and picked it up for out number 3. Bourne does add a run on 1 hit, no errors, and leaves 1 runner on the base paths. When we return, Chatham is back up to bat. It's Isaiah Lane, Henry Ford, and Gavin Gallagher to face the second Bourne pitcher of the day in Wysong. Chatham offense on fire early. It's 4-1 Anglers on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Welcome back for the top of the fourth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jake Klein now stands in. Jake?
Thank you, Hudson. Time for the top of the fourth at Bourne Park. Chatham with a 4-1 lead over the host Bourne Braves. Nate Wysong back to the mound. Isaiah Lane leads off. First pitch. Breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes on Lane. Right-handed hitting San Diego shortstop dropped a sacrifice bunt for the first out of Chatham's 3-run second inning. 1-0. Fastball misses. No, called a strike on the inside corner by Jeff Merzell. 1-1. Lane backed off the plate, extended his hands as he backed out of the right-handed box, but Jeff Merzell pointed the finger. 1-1. Here it is. Fastball punched foul in the air, out of play on the first base side. A ball and 2 strikes. Right on right matchup. Wysong comes set from the stretch with nobody on. It'll be a 1-2 to Lane. Long look in, a deep breath. Now the righty comes home. Fastball smoked. Right side, it tails foul, just out of play over the chain link fence that extends down the right field line toward the pole. So it stays a ball and 2 strikes on Isaiah Lane. Waggles his natural grain bat in the right-handed box. Another 1-2. Fastball left upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Lane. His bunt in the second moved Noah Miller into scoring position at second. Miller moved to third on a wild pitch, and then 2 runners scored when Ethan Mendoza doubled off the left field wall. 2-2 to Lane. In the dirt. Lunged down toward a breaking ball and then watched it bounce just in front of home plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Isaiah Lane. Chatham with a 4-1 lead in the top of the fourth inning at Bourne Park. Place the A's have already lost once. 3-2. Popped foul. First base side and out of play. Count stays full on Isaiah Lane. Ready for the 7th pitch of the at-bat. And this will be the 3rd at-bat of 7 pitches or longer by Chatham hitters today. Wysong set. Another 3-2. Fastball chopped up the middle. Second baseman Cooney ranges toward the bat, grabs it. His throw to first offline, picked on the backhand by Holcomb. He saved an error and retires Lane for the first out. It was not a long throw from Cooney. Oh, the knee. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ford. Shadows cast by Upper Cape Technical High School, which looms above the third base line. 1-1 in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Those shadows starting to creep into fair territory past third base. The third baseman, Cade Lewis, is in the shade. All other fielders illuminated by the sun. 2-1. Dribbled towards short. Waite charges. Fields between his legs. Shuffles once and fires in time to beat Henry Ford. 6-3. Put out for the second out.
Now batting
so Lane grounds out to second.
42, Gavin
and then
Gallagher.
Ford grounds up to short. Nobody on with 2 out as Gavin Gallagher strides to the plate. Right-handed hitting North Carolina Tar Heel is 1 of 1. He's reached in both trips to the plate so far and has scored 2 of Chatham's 4 runs. Spins his bat towards the mound, brings it above his right shoulder. First pitch. Swung on and lined foul, straight back to the screen. No balls and a strike on Gallagher. Home plate umpire Jeff Merzell hops out in front of the plate, brushes it off. Ethan Mendoza takes his practice hacks just 20 feet or so from home plate, offset toward the third base side on the warning track. 0-1. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There is no designated on-deck circle at Bourne Park. So on-deck hitters pretty much go wherever they want. 1-1. High with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike on Gallagher.
Just a lawless on-deck circle rule then.
At Veterans Field, they have them, but nobody pays any attention to where they are.
And they look awful nice, but yeah, nobody uses them.
2-1. Inside. Gallagher hops out of the way of it and then steps out of the box. The dust from the glove pop from the catcher, Jimmy Keenan, puffed right up into Gallagher's face. Shakes it off as he steps back into the right-handed batter's box. It'll be a 3-1 pitch from Nate Wysong, the reliever. Here it is. Swung on and line foul directly behind home plate off the screen, just above the brick backstop. And the count goes full on Gallagher. Chatham 4, Bourne 1. We're in the top of the 4th at Bourne Park. Nobody on with 2 out. 3-2 the count on Gavin Gallagher. Wysong looks in. The payoff. Upstairs with a fastball, and Gallagher is on base for the 3rd time in the first 4 innings. Chatham has had a base runner in all 4 innings, and Ethan Mendoza comes up with a runner on first.
Now
and 2
batting
out.
from Texas, number 5, Ethan Mendoza.
First trip to the plate for Mendoza since his 2-run double in the 2nd. A fastball that he clocked on 1 hop off the wall and left. Pick to first, Gallagher dives back. The American flag in dead center field continues to whip straight in. Bourne center and right fielder both saluting to block the sun. First pitch, fastball called to strike right down the middle. At Fenway Park, that's a classic. They used to call it the Fenway salute. Right hand up, just above the eyes to block the sun.
Slouched shoulders, though, I don't think they're at attention.
Pick to first, safe again. Gallagher dives back for the 2nd time. The left fielder, John LeGrand, is standing with his feet spread way apart and his hands behind his back. Not what I would call a ready position. 0-1, swing and a miss. Mendoza in front of a breaking ball, 0-2.
When you have center field speed like John LeGrand, though, and you're playing a corner outfield position, I guess having his head down like he does now, staring at his feet, is just being ready.
Another throw to first. Again, Gallagher back with a head-first dive. Mendoza in an 0-2 hole at the plate. His 2-run double last time sent LeGrand jogging into the corner. Wysong ready on the hill. Another throw to first, and again Gallagher is back with a dive. 4 pickoffs to just 2 pitches since Gallagher walked. 0-2, runner goes. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So that ends the top of the 4th. Ethan Mendoza goes down on 3 pitches.
Every Friday we recognize
No runs, no hits for Chatham in the top of the 4th. No errors and 1 man left on base after the 2-out walk. Nate Wysong has thrown 2 scoreless innings out of the Bourne bullpen, and after 3.5 at Bourne Park, still 4-1 visitors. Luke Jackson back to the mound when we come back. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod. Well, I can't
For over 100 years, Rogers Gray has helped protect Cape Cod families and businesses. Now as the Baldwin Group, they're the same home team with a new name on the jersey. From your first car to your dream home to your business venture, the Baldwin Group and 7 in the Bourne order. Starting with the left-handed off single for Bourne for the second straight inning. Jackson from the stretch. First pitch. Fastball called a strike, outer third. And Jackson from the stretch. First pitch. Fastball called a strike, outer third. 0-1 on Cooney. Playing in just his third game with Bourne. Part of a new wave of position players that joined the Braves earlier this week. Oh, 0-1. Fastball just below the knee. Noah Miller tried to stick it on the frame. Home plate umpire Jeff Merzel rules ball 1. 4 hits aside, but Chatham leads Bourne 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Runner on first with nobody out. A throw to first. Safe. LeGrand dives back again. Jackson nods for the sign after he gets the ball back from first. That'll be a 1-1 home. Here it comes. Fastball check swung on and tapped foul. Lined on a check swing just off the backstop directly behind home plate. And now a ball and 2 strikes on Cooney. Right on right matchup. Jackson comes set. Here's his 1-2. Breaking ball up and in. The runner on first, LeGrand, started towards second, then after about 3 hard steps, he pulled up. Jackson comes set on the mound. It'll be a 2-2 to Cooney. Here it comes. Breaking ball in the dirt. Cooney started his hands around, but lays off. And the count goes full on the righty hitter. Already a runner on first with nobody out. Jackson set. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. First base side, out of play. Trails down the right field line. Up onto the terraced seating. That's been added to the first base side of Doran Park in the last couple of years. Fans populate that hill. Another 3-2 coming. Jackson ready. Here it is. Breaking ball grounded to third. Gallagher can't get it. He slid and it rolled right under his glove into left field. Cooney aboard as LeGrand moves to second, and Bourne has runners on first and second with nobody out in the 4th. And a game-tying run comes to the plate. Nick Groves, the lefty hitting center fielder from Illinois. Stares down the barrel of his black-dipped bat, checks it once toward the mound as he digs into the lefty box. Ruled a single for Cooney. Back-to-back hits to start the inning. First pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0. Chatham has the corner infielders in, middle infielders remain back. Runners are on first and second with nobody out. Jackson deals. Popped foul off the very top of the screen, and then it hit a bat boy. There's a protective net right in front of the bat boys, but that was a bank shot off the top of the big screen backstop and then right off the bat boy's helmet.
Made it even worse. He never knew it was coming.
Gets a pat on the back from Riker Waite in the Bourne dugout.
Death from above.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Groves late on a fastball from Jackson. And he's behind in the count, of ball and 2 strikes. LeGrand on second. Cooney off of first. Right-hander nods at the sign. Comes set third base side of the mound. Here's the pitch. Runners go. It's a fastball, flied foul, out of play on the left side. A ball and 2 strikes. LeGrand had a great jump on that. Chatham perhaps lucky that Groves fouled it away. As the runner is now forced to return to first and second. Runner is now forced to return to first and second. Jackson leans in for the sign, dangling the right arm. Tan glove tucked into the left armpit. Now comes set, 1-2. Breaking ball low. Just like Cooney in the prior at bat, Groves started his hands around on the dirt ball but laid off. Runners take their leads again. Jackson comes outside. Again, Jackson gets ahead in the count and falls behind as the count goes full. First and second, nobody out. 4-1 A's in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be a 3-2 to Nick Groves. Luke Jackson comes set on the mound. They kick the pitch. Check swing, did he go? Yes! The home plate umpire, Jeff Merzell, makes the call himself. And Groves stares him down as he walks slowly back towards Bourne's third base side dugout.
33, Jimmy Keenan.
There was no field umpire on the left side with the 2 umpires shifted. Merzell made the call himself. A big strikeout for Luke Jackson is the first out of the fourth, and now Jay Powell, the Chatham pitching coach, walks to the mound. There is action in the A's bullpen beyond the right field fence. It's a left-hander throwing out there. He just got up maybe 2 minutes ago, so this would be quick for Powell to make a pitching change. He has gathered the entire infield on the mound. And as Jeff Merzell, the umpire, walks out, Scott Landers, the Bourne manager, has walked out to meet John LeGrand on the left side of the infield. He's the base runner at second. So a possible injury concern there. LeGrand grabbing at the side of his right leg. Left side umpire Jim Fonseca was over there as well. So Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire, comes back off the mound. He indicates to the press box that Chatham will be charged a visit. Bourne will not, because Scott Landers' trip out to second was for injury-related reasons. So all the different meetings are over. And the right-handed hitting Jimmy Keenan stands in. Runners on first and second with 1 out. First pitch from Jackson. No, he spins and throws towards second. They got him picked off. Throw goes to third. LeGrand is out. Jackson spun around like he was going to throw to second. LeGrand was way off the bag and just took off for third. So instead of throwing to second, Jackson sprinted toward third. All he had to do was toss to Gallagher for the easy tag. 2 outs. So now from first and second, 1 out, to runner on first, 2 out. First pitch. Fastball called a strike just above the knee of Keenan. 0-1. And now timeout called as Jackson has to refasten his belt on the mound.
Hard to undo your belt.
Well, it happened to Pablo Sandoval.
True. But Pablo Sandoval differently shaped than Luke Jackson.
That's a kind way of putting it. 0-1. Breaking ball outside. 1-1. Wonder if that was something, that pickoff was something Chatham discussed during the mound visit with Jay Powell.
When my belt breaks off, throw over.
1-1. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball in the dirt. Keenan hacks over it. 1-2. Runner on first with 2 out. 4-1 A's lead the Braves in the bottom of the 4th. 1-2 from Jackson to Keenan. Here it comes. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chatham winless over its past 5 games. That does include 2 ties. 2-2. Fastball outside. Yet again, for the 3rd time in the inning, Luke Jackson works a full count against a Bourne hitter. Runner from first, Groves, or rather Cooney, will be off on the pitch. 3-2. Breaking ball hammered. Left field, Hanley back, checks the wall, now backpedals. He stops and makes the catch a few feet in front of the fence. A loud final out, but it works just the same for Luke Jackson. After back-to-back hits to start the inning, a strikeout, then a pickoff, and a long fly out end the inning. For Bourne in the bottom of the 4th, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. To the 5th we go at Doran Park. It's 4-1 Chatham on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Like tell you about now, baby. You know, she comes around just about 5 feet 4 from her head to the ground. You know, she comes around here just about midnight. She make her feel so good, love. She make her feel all right. And her name is G. L. Whoa. R. I. G-L-Y. Gloria. G-L-Y. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it all night. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it every day. Yeah, 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 yeah. She comes around here.
Back at Doran Park. Time for the 5th inning on the Cape Cod Baseball Network with Hudson Ridley. I'm Jake Klein. Chatham 4, Bourne 1, the score into the 5th. And the Bourne reliever Nate Wysong out for his 3rd inning of work. He faces Chase Freilich, Daniel Jackson, and Jackson Freeman, lefty, righty, lefty in the middle of Chatham's order. First pitch to Freilich. Fastball called to strike, inside corner, 0-1. Freilich 2 for 2 today. His 3rd and 4th hits in the Cape League. All 4 of his hits, singles. 0-1. Fastball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Righty comes set. Wysong's 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Catcher Keenan picks it on 1 hop behind the plate. 2 balls and a strike on Chase Freilich. Righty's pitch. Outside. 3 balls and a strike on Freilich. The starter Zane Petty walked 4 in his 2 innings. Big reason why he allowed 4 runs. Wysong has walked 2 in his first 2 innings of relief, and now in danger of walking a 3rd. Nobody on, nobody out. The 3-1 home. Check swing. No swing, says the third base umpire Jim Fonseca on appeal. It was a fastball up and away to the lefty, and Freilich laid off. He's on for the third time today, and Chatham has a base runner with nobody out.
Now batting for Georgia, number 2, Daniel Jackson.
Brings up Daniel Jackson, right-handed hitting designated hitter from Georgia. He's 0 for 1, a walk in the first and a swinging strikeout. The pitch, fastball called a strike, outside corner 0-1. Wysong checks the runner at first. Freilich with only about a step and a half lead. 0-1. Grounded up the middle, speared by the pitcher. Wysong throws to second for 1. The relay to first. In time, a double play. 9th double play grounded into by Chatham this season. That's tied for the second most in the Cape League. 2 gone in the
now
5th.
Batting from Northwestern, number 49, Jackson Freeman.
Brings up the left-handed hitting Jackson Freeman with 2 out, and now nobody on. Righty set, first pitch. Breaking ball hammered into center field. A line drive single for Jackson Freeman. And Chatham has its base runner right back. 2 out single for the Northwestern right fielder.
Now batting from
And there's a
Indiana,
runner
number
on
34,
first with 2
Jake
out.
Hanley.
Freeman takes his lead off first pitch to Hanley. Cut on and missed. Big swing. And he's under the fastball, 0-1. Hanley returned to the lineup after 3 days away with a 2-hit performance 2 nights ago at Katuitt. 0-1. Called a strike just above the knees with a fastball, 0-2. Tonight, he struck out swinging in the first and then walked in the third. In an 0-2 hole here. Runner on first with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Popped foul. Third base side out of play. Stays no balls, 2 strikes on Jake Hanley. Freeman stands on first with 2 outs. He's 0 for 1 trying to steal bases on the Cape League season. Another 0-2 home. Fastball cold, strike 3 outside corner. Fastball was right there on the outer third. Hanley watched it, and he takes the slow walk back to the dugout. Chatham had 2 base runners on, but a double play plus that inning-ending strikeout, and the A's do not score for a 3rd straight inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and thanks to the double play, just 1 left on base. New Chatham pitcher when we come back. It's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen. We are halfway home on the Cape Cod Baseball Network with the A's in front of the Braves 4-1.
The Cape's leader, sports radio play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, give me all a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, give me all a prayer. Johnny's got his 6 string high.
Quincy College is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League and celebrate the students chasing their dreams on and off the field. Quincy College, Plymouth, Quincy, and online. Let's get to work. It's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen to start the bottom of the fifth. And the new Angler pitcher is Mississippi State left-hander Dane Burns. 6'5", 220-pound Dallas native. Makes his second appearance of the Cape League season. He allowed 2 runs in 2 innings, only one of which was earned in his first appearance of the year. Did not strike anyone out and walked 2. Riker Waite leads off against Burns. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Bourne order. Righty, lefty, righty against the southpaw. First pitch. Fastball grounded up the middle. Isaiah Lane at short to his left from the outfield grass, throws to first in time. Lane ranged into shallow left center field and threw across his body to beat Waite by half a step. 1 pitch, 1 out for Dane Burns.
From Texas Tech, number 14, Logan Hughes.
That turns over the Bourne order, and the left-handed hitting outfielder Logan Hughes comes up. He is 0 for 2 with a ground ball to second and a fly ball to left. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Luke Jackson, the Chatham starter, went 4 innings. He allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. 0-1 from Burns. Breaking ball right down the middle. Started almost at the lefty batter and then bent over the corner and right down the chute, 0-2. Nobody on with 1 out. 4-1 Chatham, bottom 5. 0-2. Breaking ball, check swing. Outside. Noah Miller, the catcher, asked for an appeal. And then after a delay, Jeff Merzell finally pointed down to Jim Fonseca, who confirmed no swing. It'll be a 1-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball just tapped foul. Off the end of the bat, it rolls toward the brick backstop behind home plate. Count stays a ball and 2 strikes on Hughes. Started the season as a middle, bottom of the order hitter for Bourne. Has become the leadoff hitter. 1-2. Fastball grounded to short. Lane hardly moves, fields between his legs, guns it to first in time for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Dane Burns out of the bullpen on just 6 pitches. And now with nobody on and 2 out, Braden Holcomb comes to the plate. Hughes, as he jogs back to Bourne's dugout, tosses a little scouting report to Holcomb coming to the plate, and then gestures with his left hand toward Cade Lewis in the on-deck circle. First pitch to the righty Holcomb. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of a breaking ball. Swings over it with that pale blue bat. 0-1. That old hickory bat almost perfectly matches the color of the sky in Bourne. 0-1. Downstairs. Breaking ball ducks toward the back right foot of the batter Holcomb. A ball and a strike. Holcomb is 1 of 1 with a first inning single. Also walked in the third. One pitch. Upstairs. Above the digital camo Cape Cod scrawled across the chest of Holcomb. Born in its red, generic Cape Cod League Friday night uniforms. Left on right. 2-1 pitch. Popped up. Right side, it tails out of play. As a gaggle of kids goes to chase it down by the wooded area near the right field corner at Doran Park. Count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes on Braden Holcomb. Bats with nobody on and 2 out. His Bourne Braves trailing the Chatham A's 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Bourne set on the mound. 2-2 home in the dirt. Bounces behind the plate, then hits the umpire, Jeff Merzell, in the mask. And the count goes full. That's no way to earn yourself any favors. Allow the ball to hit the ump.
Merzell chewing gum very hard, too, underneath the mask. Don't know if you've noticed, but it is a very, very hard bite each time.
His son, a major league umpire. 3-2. Fastball chopped down the third base line. It hops foul. It was close. We've got a good view up it, right up the third base line. And just as it got toward the bag, it skipped foul. Holcomb, who had sprinted up the first base line, now takes a slow walk back toward home plate. Gavin Gallagher, the Chatham third baseman who fielded it, smiles toward the Bourne dugout, which was razzing Jim Fonseca, the left side umpire, about the call. Holcomb finally ready. Burns on the mound comes set. Another payoff pitch. Breaking ball, cold, strike 3. Holcomb almost in disbelief. He bends over at home plate as he talks to Merzell and walks back to the third base dugout. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Dane Burns out of the Chatham bullpen. He punctuates it with a strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Bourne after 5 innings of play at Doran Park. It's Chatham 4, Bourne 1. Nate Weissong back to the mound when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. Bourne and Chatham roll along to the 6th at Doran Park. The second and final trip to Bourne for Chatham on the 2025 season, and the third of 4 games in the season series between these two teams. A's can, at best, force a split of that series if they win the back half. Off to a good start today, up 4-1 as we head to the 6th. First pitch is a breaking ball called a strike. 0-1 on Noah Miller. Lights have come on at Doran Park. Sky remains blue. 0-1, lying straight back. Off the screen, no balls and 2 strikes. Righty Weissong set. His 0-2 to Miller. Fastball just off the plate away. 1-2. Miller widens up his stance with 2 strikes. Something a couple of different Chatham hitters do. He remains choked down on the bat. 1-2. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Daniel Jackson, tonight's Chatham DH, is a big proponent of the choke up with 2 strikes. That's earned him a few 2-strike hits, including One in the clutch that forced a 7-7 tie in the bottom of the 10th against Hyannis. 2-2 to Miller. Fastball called, strike 3 on the inside corner. Miller shakes his head as he walks out of the box towards Chatham's dugout. Wysong picks up the strikeout, his 4th out of the bullpen.
Now batting from San Diego, number 1, Isaiah Lane.
Brings up Isaiah Lane, right-handed hitting shortstop, 0 for 1. Lays his bat across home plate. Brings it above the head. First pitch. Breaking ball. Line toward right. Right fielder Hughes goes back, then comes in. He makes the catch on the jog for the second out. That sun still
Now
affecting parts of right field, including where Hughes was standing when that ball hit bat. Initially brought his glove up to shield that sun as he started back on it, then found it and jogged in. 2 quick outs in the 6th for Chatham. Here's the leadoff man, Henry Ford. First pitch, called a strike, inside corner, 0-1. Ford 0 for 3 at the top of the A's order. Strikeout, pop-up, ground out. 0-1. Fastball popped up. Shallow right center field. Second baseman Cooney goes back. He makes the catch on the outfield grass for the final out. Chatham goes 1-2-3 and fast in the 6th. Miller strikes out looking. Lane flies out to right, and Ford pops out to second. The latter 2, both on the first pitch. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the A's. After 5.5 at Doran Park, it's a 4-1 Chatham lead. Nobody's scored since the 3rd. Stay with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Well, it was nearly summer, we sat under a roof. Yeah, we smoked cigarettes and we stared at the moon. And I'd showed you stars you never could see. Baby, it couldn't have been that easy to forget about me. Baby, time meant nothing, anything seemed real. Yeah, you could kiss like fire when you made me feel like every word you said was meant to be. No, it couldn't have been that easy to forget about me. Maybe even the losers.
Hi, this is Daniel Jackson from the University of Georgia. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Jay Klein and Hudson Ridley on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Milton Cat is proud to support the Cape Cod Baseball League. From paving and landscaping to recreational
Now
boating
batting
and
from
facility
Lakeport, number
management,
23,
Milton
Kay
Cat has the
Lewis.
right equipment, parts, service, and technology to keep you working. Visit miltoncat.com for more. Dane Burns returns to the mound for Chatham. Bottom of the 6th starts with the lefty hitting Cade Lewis in for Bourne. 4-1 the A's lead. First pitch from Burns, caught on and missed. Breaking ball below the zone, and Lewis swings over it. 0-1. Sun has almost faded entirely behind the school on the third base side. 0-1. Fastball outside, a ball and a strike. It's left the entire diamond in shade, and the lights taking effect. One home. Check swing on a ball in the dirt, appeal to third, and he went around, says left side umpire Jim Fonseca. Earned some barks from the Bourne dugout, and then Fonseca puts the palm up toward the Braves and says enough. 1-2 on Cade Lewis. He's 0 for 1 today with a sac fly and an RBI. Burns 1-2 home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. went back to that breaking ball. Almost the same pitch he got him with for strike one. It's strike three and the first out of the bottom of the sixth. Second strikeout for Dane Burns out of the bullpen.
Jake, he's looked a lot more comfortable than his first outing. The off-speed, which he usually leans on, is starting to really piece together, getting hitters to chase low in the zone.
Righty hitting Weber Neals in. First pitch. Breaking ball called to strike above the knees. 0-1. And the same could be said for today's Chatham starter, Luke Jackson, who after he allowed 4 walks in his first start, walked only 1 today. 0-1. Cut on and missed. The slow stuff sets up the fastball, and it's 0-2.
And that's been the motto from Dennis Cook. Pound the strike zone. We don't care if you get mashed, as long as you put the ball in the strike zone, cut out the walks.
Nobody on with 1 out. Burns set. 0-2 to Neals. Breaking ball darts down and in. Falls out of Miller's glove behind the plate. 1-2. Asked Dennis today about how, as Chatham's offense has heated up, its pitching has allowed 13 runs over the last 2 games. 1-2. Cut on and tapped foul behind home plate. He said he's been okay with the pitching because there haven't been increased walks. Hudson has a check of your Cape League scoreboard presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza. Sure
do. A couple games going on right now. Falmouth on top of Harwich 3-1 after 7 innings.
1-2 to Neals. Here it is. Grounded foul, third base side.
The other game happening, Orleans trails Hyannis 9-4 in the bottom of the 5th. Then 2 games have gone final. Brewster has now lost 4 games after starting 5-0. They fall to Wareham 2-1.
Left against right. Burns with a 1-2. Breaking ball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. 3 straight strikeouts dating back to the 5th for Dane Burns. He's feeling it.
Now
his second relief appearance of the year.
Yet again, nibbling on the bottom of the zone. Only one other game has gone final today. YD jumps to 8-2 and now takes the lead in the East after a 5-1 win over Katuitt.
Brewster had an early stranglehold on the East, and YD was kind of quietly winning games behind them. First pitch to LeGrand, down and into the lefty, 1-0. And Brewster took some tough losses as players are shipped out of Cape Cod to Team USA. 1-0. Breaking ball smashed through the right side on a line and into right field. It's a base hit for LeGrand. He pulls at his hamstring as he turns first. And he's got a grimace on his face as he returns to the bag with a 2-out single.
LeGrand is undeniable. He's had hits in all 3 games where he's faced Chatham. Today he's already got 2. But that leg does eliminate him a bit.
Right-handed hitting Ryan Cooney stands in. Scott Landers, the Bourne manager, gestured to LeGrand at first. He said with his hands, he's okay. Pick to first, back standing. He steps gingerly back to the bag. Landers came out to check on his leg already once before he was picked off in the 4th. First pitch, clocked, left center field. Ford on the run. In the gap, he pulls up, and the center fielder makes the catch to end the inning. So Dane Burns allows the 2-out single to John LeGrand, but nothing comes of it. Ryan Cooney flies out to center, and Bourne goes down without a run in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We go to the late innings at Doran Park. Braves trail the A's 4-1. It's coming down to it. Don't go anywhere. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sun coming up over New York City. bus driver in a traffic jam, staring at the faces in a rearview mirror, looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune, one kid helps pay the rent, one could end up going to prison, one just might be president. Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue. Only in America, where we dream as big as we want to. We all get a chance. Everybody gets in America. Freeway. Newlyweds in the back of a limousine. A welder's son and a banker's daughter. All they want is everything. She came out here to be an actress. He was a singer in a band.
Number 42,
North
Gavin
Carolina
Gallagher.
right-handed hitter Gavin Gallagher leads off the 7th for the Chatham A's, and it's a Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen for the Bourne Braves. Gallagher's UNC teammate Cameron Seagraves is on for Bourne. Third Brave pitcher of the day. 4-1 A's lead. First pitch, fastball called to strike, outer third, 0-1. Seagraves making his second appearance of the Cape League season. An earned run allowed in an inning and a third. 0-1. Fastball called to strike above the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Gallagher does not swing at the first 2 pitches from his collegiate teammate. Now the 0-2 home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It gets away from the catcher, bounces towards Bourne's dugout, and Gallagher goes to first. So the strikeout and the wild pitch have the leadoff man aboard for Chatham. And Ethan Mendoza comes up with a runner on first and nobody out.
Now batting for Texas, number 5, Ethan Mendoza.
Mendoza today has reached twice in 3 trips to the plate. A walk, a 2-run double, a strikeout swinging, plus a run scored. Seagraves set on the mound. First pitch. Fastball called a strike. Outside corner. No balls and a strike on Mendoza. In his first outing, Seagraves walked 1, struck out 1, took 23 pitches to get through an inning and a third. Picked to first, Gallagher back safely with a dive. Hudson, shall we check in on some MLB scores presented by Mahi Gold Outfitters?
We shall. The Pirates lead the Mets 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th, one of 8 games currently ongoing.
0-1 home. Breaking ball called a strike right down the middle. Mendoza with an early stride. He had already landed by the time that ball fluttered across home plate.
Yankees lead the A's 2-0 in the middle of the 4th. Rays and Orioles in a high-scoring game. It's the top of the 3rd, and the Rays are on top 6-4.
0-2 in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and Gallagher goes to second. Meanwhile, they appeal to first on a check swing, and Mike Hinojosa, the right side umpire, says no swing, and then takes off jogging towards second as the umps reposition themselves.
Couple other games to update you on. Twins and Tigers scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd. Blue Jays lead the Red Sox 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Red Sox on a major slide. 1-2. downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'm looking at our producer, Beckett Calkins. Have they won since they traded Devers? They have.
But not in the last 4 games, says Beckett. Yikes.
2-2. Fastball popped up. Right side. Right fielder Hughes sprints over in foul ground. He watches it land as it one-hops the side fence. Mendoza gets a new life. Gallagher had tagged at second in the event Hughes had made a running catch or tumbled into or over that fence. Instead, it dropped just in front of him. Gallagher takes his lead off second with no one out. 2-2. Breaking ball, grounded up the middle, fielded at second by Cooney, sidearms to first in time for the first out. Ground out to the right side, moves Gallagher to third, and now Chase Fralick comes up. RBI opportunity. Runner on third with 1 out.
Now batting from Auburn, number 6, Chase Fralick.
Fralick is 2 for 2 today. He's reached all 3 times he's come to the plate. Bourne brings the infield in. Runner on third, 1 out, first pitch. Breaking ball called a strike. Outside corner, 0-1. "12 minutes away from official sunset in Bourne. 0-1. In the dirt, blocked by the catcher Keenan. That keeps Gallagher right where he is on third.
A lot of these pitches from Seagraves are landing well in front of the plate. His vertical movement has been good. The only issue is getting it to the plate. He's got 2 wild pitches already.
1-1. In the dirt. Not in the dirt. Just above the dirt. Catcher Keenan grabs it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bourne infield is in. Only the shortstop, Waite, has his feet on the grass. 2-1. That one's in the dirt. Nearly picked on the backhand by Keenan. Dribbles out of his glove up the third base line, but not far enough away for Gallagher to try for home. So the count goes to 3-1 on Fralick. Right-handed hitting Daniel Jackson is next. He entered the game with a top 5 OPS in the Cape League. 3-1. In the dirt. Again, Keenan blocks it. They walk Fralick on 5 pitches, and Chatham has them on the corners with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting from Georgia.
Seagraves not one for a high fastball. You would imagine in a 3-1 count, you'd lay off the constant breaking balls in the dirt and give him one, at least a hit to power it by him. Nothing of the sort.
Chatham lead is 4-1. Top of the 7th. Runners are on the corners with 1 out. Jackson to the plate. He's already bounced into a double play today. First pitch. Downstairs. Dirt comes up as the catcher Keenan grabs it just behind the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson hitless in 3 trips to the plate. He has walked. One of 3 Chatham players without a hit today. 1-0. Fastball outside. Seagraves lets out a big grunt as he fires. And behind 2-0, Jimmy Keenan, the catcher, goes out to the mound. Chatham scored a run in the first and then 3 in the second. Ethan Mendoza doubled home 2 runs. Then on the very first pitch after his double, broke for third. Keenan threw it into left field, and Mendoza scored to make it 4-0 Chatham. Bourne came back with a run in the bottom of the third on the sac fly by Cade Lewis, but Chatham pitchers have otherwise held the Braves silent. Chance for Chatham to pad that 4-1 lead in the top of the 7th. Meeting on the mound breaks up. It'll be a 2-0 to Jackson. Here it is. Breaking ball. Outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Lefty hitting Jackson Freeman would be next. Seagraves set. And before the pitch, time is called. And Dennis Cook asked the batter, Jackson, to step out of the box. Now he's back in, ready for the 3-0. Here it is. Drilled down the left field line, it twists foul. Jackson smoked it and took a hard step toward first and then realized it was not to be. Bounced on the wide stone dust warning track down the left field line that circumnavigates the field at Doran Park. So the count 3-1 on Jackson. Seagraves set. Nods, pitches. Breaking ball below the knees, ball 4. It was close. There was a momentary pause waiting for a call from Jeff Merzell. It never came. Jackson walks, back-to-back free passes issued by Seagraves. Freilich goes to second. Jackson on first. The bases are loaded with 1 out for Jackson Freeman. Right against left, the pitch. Fastball called a strike, inside corner, 0-1. Interestingly, Bourne, which had the infield in the runner on third 1-out situation, has it back with the bases loaded and 1 out, in search of that double play to end the inning. 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Freeman hit into a double play yesterday in the 10th inning, or rather 2 days ago, Chatham's last game, in the 10th inning of a 6-6 tie in Cotuit. 0-2. Fastball just off the outside corner. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Freeman. Struck out swinging in the first and looking in the third, then hammered a line drive single to center in the 5th. Bases loaded, 1 out. The 1-2. Hit on the ground, right side. It gets off the glove of the second baseman, Cooney. It trickles into right field, and everybody's safe. No throw. Gallagher comes home to score. It's 5-1 Chatham in the top of the 7th.
It was not a hard play for Cooney to make at second base. He reached the glove down by his feet. It was only a few inches out of the way of his feet. And once it hit his glove, it skipped into the outfield, which made a throw to first impossible.
He kicked it out of his own glove. Still bases loaded, 1 out. Here's Hanley. First pitch ripped at and missed. 0-1. Freilich on third now, Jackson on second, and Freeman on first. 0-1. Fastball called a strike. Knee high to the lefty. 0-2. Freeman credited with a single. His RBI makes it 5-1. Chatham has now drawn even with Bourne, 6-6 in the hit column. 0-2 to Hanley. Spoiled foul in the air behind home plate. Stays no balls and 2 strikes. Hanley came up with the bases loaded and 2 out in the first. He struck out swinging. 0 for 2 today. 2 Ks and a walk. 0-2 from Seagraves. Popped foul again. This time further up the third base line and out of play toward the school building that hovers over the section of fans on the hill third base side. It'll be a third straight 0-2 to Hanley. Bases loaded, 1 out. A run already in the inning, and the A's ahead 5-1 in the top of the 7th. The pitch. Hammered, right center field. It gets down for a hit in the gap. Freilich comes home. Jackson's right behind him. He scores. The throw into second is way late. It's a 2-run double for Jake Hanley. It's 7-1 A's in the top of the 7th. He got a hanging breaking ball, and he did not miss it.
Now batting from Michigan, number
Smashes
4,
it
Noah Miller.
right between the right fielder and center fielder. Freilich waited to see if it'd be caught with 1 out. Jackson, meanwhile, took off running from second and was right on Freilich's heels as he came across home plate. So now second and third for Noah Miller, and the Bourne infield now comes in with the double play off. First pitch, fastball away, 1-0. RBI single from Freeman and double from Hanley have plated 3 here in the top of the 7th for the A's after 4 innings held off the scoreboard. 1-0 in the dirt. Backhand stab by Keenan behind the plate. And Scott Landers, the Bourne manager, is going to the mound. Now 20 runs over the last 3 games for the A's offense. Hudson, it's like a new team showed up.
Exactly. You wouldn't have pictured this a couple games ago, and it really came after one of the off days where the A's started to put runs together. Both of those last 2 games being ties, but right now, this is the most comfortable lead they've had with that offensive production, considering that the pitching has held up. Both Luke Jackson and Dane Burns have only combined to allow 1 run through 6 innings.
It would take an unmitigated disaster to tie this one. 7-1 the Chatham lead in the top of the 7th. And the A's are not done. Runners on second and third with 1 out. They count 2-0 on Noah Miller as the meeting on the mound breaks up. Infield still in. Seagrave set on the mound. His 2-0. Fastball called a strike, low outside corner. 2-1 on Miller. He is 0 for 2, grounded into a double play to third and struck out looking. They walked and scored in the second. 2-1. Popped foul off the screen behind home plate. Offset toward the first base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson Freeman leads off third. He's got an RBI single in the inning. Jake Hanley off of second. He's got a 2-run double in the inning. 2-2. Breaking ball, just line foul. Off the very top of the bat, Miller just kind of threw the hands out there and stays alive with a line drive off the brick backstop. 2-2. 7 runs on 7 hits. No errors for Chatham. A run on 6 hits, 1 error for Bourne. Seagraves in the set. 2-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Blocked by Keenan, picks it up, throws to first. Underhand catch made at first by Holcomb in time. So Miller retired on the strikeout and the 2-3 putout. Second out of the 7th. Here's Isaiah Lane. Lane is 0 for 2. Sacrifice bunt was the first out of Chatham's 3-run second inning. He's also grounded out to second and flied to right. Bourne infield backs up with 2 outs. Right-hander against right-hander. Seagraves deals. Fastball called a strike inside corner. 0-1. Lane hitless over the last 3 games. He is the only Chatham regular who does not have a hit in the span during which Chatham has scored 20 runs. 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Tonight, there's nobody but the Chatham regulars. Only 9 players, position players, available for Dennis Cook tonight. And he says that'll be the case for the next couple of days. Seagrave steps off ahead of the 0-2.
If there was any pitcher to put out there, who would you put?
Well, we certainly know it won't be Gabe Davis. Dennis Cook laughed when I suggested that after Davis was hitting in the batting cage earlier today. 0-2 to Lane. Muscled foul. Off the netting behind home plate. Stays no balls and 2 strikes. If we needed a position player to pitch for Chatham, I think I know who I'd pick. But I don't know that I can think off the top of my head of a Chatham pitcher who would be a good fit for defense. 0-2, breaking ball, cold, strike 3 at the top of the zone. That ends the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts from Seagraves, but not before the A's get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base, both in scoring position. It's time to stretch at Bourne Park. In the middle of the 7th, it's a 7-1 Chatham lead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Baseball Network and the A's. Sports Radio play-by-play. Chatham A's on the air.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never go back. 'Cause it's a root for the home team. And if I don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's a 1, 2, or 3 strikes you out at the old ball game. Yeah.
Hope you got a good stretch in. Final 2.5 innings on tap from Bourne Park. Chatham in front of Bourne 7-1 after a 3-run top half. And now it's the bottom third of the Bourne order to the plate against the Chatham left-hander Dane Burns. With Hudson Ridley, I'm Jake Klein. Diamond side at Bourne Park. First pitch to Nick Groves. Swing and a miss by the lefty. 0-1. 7 runs on 7 hits, no errors for Chatham. 1 run on 6 hits, plus an error for Bourne. Burns comes set in the stretch. 0-1. Breaking ball bends onto the inside corner. 0-2. A's defense relatively straight up. Center fielder Henry Ford shaded toward the right center field gap ever so slightly against the lefty hitter. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, cold, strike 3 on the inside corner. Right at the knees. It started at the lefty hitter and then clipped the inner third. Jeff Merzell punches out
Now
Groves,
batting
who's
for
1 of
Wakeful,
3,
number 33, Jimmy
and that brings
Keenan.
up Jimmy Keenan. Ford in center shifts back toward dead center field as the right-hander comes to the plate. Dane Burns on the mound now through 2 1/3 scoreless. First pitch bounces in what would be, or perhaps what used to be, the left-handed batter's box. Hardly even a trace of chalk remaining in the area around home plate. The baselines, especially the third baseline, mostly intact. Burns set, 1-0. Fastball popped foul. Out of play on the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. They used chalk to put the batter's boxes down, but on the baselines and the foul lines in the outfield, it's paint. Lefty comes set, looks in for the sign. Nods and deals. High with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike.
And in no game where they use the chalk, which is essentially every game in the Cape League, for the batter's box.
There's again. 3 balls and a strike on Jimmy Keenan. His career at St. John's before he transferred to Wake Forest, which honestly makes him the ideal Bourne Brave. 3-1. Fastball called a strike, upper inside corner to the right-hander. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count goes full on Keenan. Bourne has Ed Blankmeyer, the former Johnny's head coach, in his first year as an assistant. He's coaching third right now. 3-2 pitch. Fastball popped up, out of play again on the first base side. And the count stays full on Keenan. Chatham middle infielders with heels on the outfield grass. Nobody on with 1 out. Payoff pitch home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout for Dane Burns out of the Chatham bullpen. He takes a lap around the mound and readies to face the right-handed hitting Riker Waite with 2 out. Of the 5 strikeouts for Burns, 3 have been called. Righty hitting Waite. First pitch, squares to bunt, pulls back and takes a fastball in the dirt. 1-0.
The difference from Burns between appearance 1 and appearance 2 has really been night and day. A lot more location on his pitches around the outside of the zone. He left a good amount over the heart of the plate last time.
Has not walked a batter, just 2 3-ball counts. 1-0. Fastball called a strike inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Burns nods again. Comes set. In the stretches, 1-1. Chopped foul. First base side just in front of us. Offset behind home plate. Goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Riker Waite. Shortstop out of Vanderbilt, singled in the 3rd, went to 2nd on a wild pitch, then stole 3rd and scored on a sacrifice fly for Bourne's only run of the game to this point. Sun has set at Doran Park. Sky turning a deeper shade of blue. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. Dane Burns strikes out the side. In order. He's up to 6 Ks in his 2nd relief appearance, and he's got Chatham into the 8th with a 7-1 lead. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Braves in the home half of the 7th. We go to the 8th at Doran Park. It's Chatham 7, Bourne 1. The A's will send the top of the order to the plate. Henry Ford, Gavin Gallagher, and Ethan Mendoza. They'll face a new Braves pitcher. Right-hander comes out of the pen with a Chatham bars in call to the bullpen. It's a dominant night so far for the A's. Can they keep it up? Find out on the other side. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball right here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
In the sun somewhere, there's some buddies in a Chevy turning up Tom Petty on the way to the Cape. They'll be there all day. In the sun somewhere, there's a home run ball flying over that wall off a Little League bat. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's a road trip on a wild tear, and I'll call you when we get there. Here's to making that coffee can cash. Here's to making those good times last. 2 for 1 at the fireworks stand. snow cone and a feet on the dash. A shotgun seat laid back. And you'll always remember that Malibu buzz and a Sonic cup and a shirt on the limb.
Now batting for Tennessee, number 37.
Welcome back
Henry
to
Ford.
Bourne Park. It's the top of the 8th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham on top 7-1. As Henry Ford comes in to face the new pitcher. It's the righty Landon White, 6'6", from Bryant. Right on right. First pitch. Grounded left side, high hop, gets through. It's a base hit. All the way down the left field line. Ford rounds first, chugging for second. He keeps the wheels on for third, but takes a long turn around second and holds up. It's a stand-up double to lead off the frame for Henry Ford. A bouncing ball down the third base line that just barely stayed fair out of the diving reach of third baseman Cade Lewis. And once it reached the grass, it slowed and rolled all the way down that left field line. So with Ford on second after the leadoff single, it brings up Gavin Gallagher. Gallagher has reached base all 4 times today, albeit reaching on a strikeout with a wild pitch his last time up. First pitch, taken outside, ball 1. That fastball from the righty. Not too much velocity on it. Not overpowering for what these A's hitters have seen. The 1-0. Inside. Another fastball. It's 2-0. After Gallagher, it's Mendoza who takes hacks in the on-deck circle. If there was one. He really just stands on deck. 2-0 from White. Swing and a ground ball up the middle, gloved by the second baseman, goes out of his glove. The throw to first on a skip gets the runner. Gallagher hosed at first by Cooney. Ford does advance to third.
Now batting from Texas, number 5.
Cooney
Ethan
almost
Mendoza.
did not complete that play. It took a couple of tough hops as he bent down and skipped in and out of his glove. He's been having problems at second base today. If it wasn't for a good scoop from Holcomb at first, everyone would have been safe. Now with Ford on third, the infield comes in for Ethan Mendoza. First pitch righty-righty is a called strike on the outer half. Mendoza spits over the plate and digs back in.
White dropped down to a sidearm there.
Couple arm angles used. 0-1 from the sidearm, low and away, and Jimmy Keenan, the catcher, has to slide to his right on his knees to grab that pitch. White has already pitched 9 innings this season, making his 3rd appearance today. He's been used in long relief. 1-1. Grounded left side, high hop, and it's foul. Went over the heads of both Cade Lewis, the third baseman, and Henry Ford, who stood a foot or so off the bag. And just foul. That makes it 1-2 count. 1 gone and a runner on third. Chatham on top 7-1 in the top of the 8th. White left the mound, now comes back. And deals. Low and away. Sidearm pitch yet again that Keenan has to slide to grab. And he's made Jimmy Keenan work. Catcher puts back on the mask and dips down. The 2-2. Weakly hit fly ball out to center. It drops down for a base knock. Ethan Mendoza comes in. Rather, Henry Ford comes in. Ethan Mendoza drives him in. It's the 8th run of the day for the Anglers. 8-1 Chatham in the top of the 8th.
Now batting from Auburn, number 6, Chase Freilich.
Steve West and his wife Susan, team president, Very excited just to the right of us on the third base side. They're the host parents for Ethan Mendoza. They're fired up to see him drive in Henry Ford from third.
And a Texas Longhorn.
Very true. Hook 'em. First pitch to Chase Freilich. It's the inside edge on a fastball. It's 0-1. Even more of a reason to like Mendoza. He stands on first with one gone. Chatham on top 8-1 in the top of the 8th. White checks up and down, now fires. Off the edge of the plate, it's 1-1. And with runners on, he's fully into that sidearm positioning now. Looks over his left shoulder on the runner at first. Here's the 1-1. Clips the bottom inside corner. Dotted on a fastball. Freilich began to jut off the plate as it came in on him and still got the zone.
It's almost never a true overhand. Sometimes it's more true sidearm, sometimes like a 3/4.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chase Freilich fans through it.
Batting from Georgia, number 2, Daniel Jackson.
That brings up Daniel Jackson. Chatham has already pushed across a run in the frame. These last 2 innings have been good for the Anglers, picking up 4 runs in the 7th and 8th. Jackson stands tall in the box and now steps out. Had his feet together, bat over his right shoulder. Now stands back in. First pitch to the righty. Cut on and missed. Ahead of the off-speed pitch, it's 0-1. A big hack from Daniel Jackson. Came into today tied for the team lead in RBIs. The pitch called strike. The throw down to second, not in time. Mendoza swipes second base. Puts a runner in scoring position for the A's with 2 gone. It's 0-2 to Jackson at the dish. He's brought in 7 so far this season. 0-2. Low and away. Jackson didn't have to think about it. The lights in full force at Dorn Park. The sky's still blue, but now a much darker shade, as the sun is now nearly fully disappeared. 1-2. Swing and a foul at the plate. Jumped over top of the head of the catcher, Keenan. Goes all the way to the brick backstop. No padding. So anything that hits it at any form of speed is going to ricochet right off. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So White strikes out the last 2 batters he faces, but not before Chatham puts another run on the board. The Anglers pick up 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and leave 1 runner on the base paths. Alrighty, on to the bottom of the 8th we go, and Chatham with a big-time lead, looking to snap a 5-game winless streak. Just need 2 more frames to do it. 8-1, the Angler lead. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest now. He takes off her dress now. Let me go.
the eighth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network from Bourne Park. Chatham on top 8-1. With Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. Dane Burns on for a fourth inning. He may get the rest of this ball game. The left-hander faces the top of the Bourne order. It's Logan Hughes, Braden Holcomb, and Cade Lewis. First pitch of the lefty-lefty matchup is a called strike at the knees. Off speed from Burns, grabs the very bottom edge of the zone. Hughes is 0 for 3 today. 0-1. Cracked back past the mound, onto the shortstop. Lane charges, fires to first. Not in time. Michael Hinojosa ruled him safe at first base. Jay Powell, the Chatham pitching coach, lunges out of the dugout and takes a few steps out, and Dennis Cook does as well. Thought Hinojosa made the wrong call. It was a hard 90 from Logan Hughes to apparently beat it by a step. It's an infield single from Hughes to lead off the bottom of the eighth. That brings up Braden Holcomb from the right side. Burns' first pitch. The righty cracks it on the ground. Mendoza fields it deep in the hole. Fires to second for one. No throw to first. It's swallowed by Lane. A diving, sliding play from Ethan Mendoza to retire one in the bottom of the eighth.
Now batting from Wake Forest, number 23, Cade Lewis.
So quickly through the first two batters, Hughes on first, Holcomb retired. That brings up Cade Lewis. Chatham on top 8-1 in the bottom of the eighth. Burns checks the runner, now deals. Called strike, fastball at the knees. Lewis has struck out twice today, once looking back in the first and then swinging in the sixth. That second one came from Burns. Here's the 0-1. Tails inside and gets past Miller. Takes a big hop off the brick backstop, but it doesn't matter. Hughes advances down to second.
I thought it hit him.
It certainly sounded like it hit him. Certainly sounded like it skipped off of some part. It also touched Noah Miller.
There was a noise.
It could have been the catcher's gear of Miller. Regardless, on the wild pitch, Hughes advances to second base. That takes off the double play. It's 1-1. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Ball 2.
Here we go, Dave.
Burns has gone 3 strong already and has yet to allow a run. In that time, he struck out 7 batters. 2-1. Inside, just barely on the off-speed from Burns. Lewis slowly backs off the plate and digs back in. Friendly 3-1 count to the third baseman. He's got a runner in scoring position. It's Logan Hughes on second with 1 gone. 3-1. Strike called at the knees. That same slow breaking ball in a very similar spot, just a hair closer to the plate, ruled by Jeff Merzell. Count runs full. The payoff to Lewis. Swing and a bouncer, right side foul. Knocks off the netting in front of Chatham's dugout. The Jackets have progressively come on at Bourne Park. Sun now nearly completely gone. The wind whipping from right to left across the outfield. 3-2 pitch. Foul back. Line right over top of the Bourne dugout on the third base side.
I've been wearing a sweatshirt since the 4th inning.
I've been wearing a sweatshirt since the sun was high in the sky today. After a couple of mid-80 degree days, an unusual mid-60s. Right now, 63 degrees in Bourne. Another payoff pitch. Swing and a liner to left center field. It's down. This could be extra bases. The windmill is on at third. Logan Hughes comes in to score. Cade Lewis holds up at first base. It's an RBI single for Lewis. And the Braves claw just a little bit closer. Still 8-2 Anglers in the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting for Minnesota, number 22, Weber Niels.
And now Jay Powell, Chatham's pitching coach, makes his way out of the dugout and points down the right field line. All of a sudden, the day is done for Dane Burns. Ended up getting through 3 innings and change, but could not advance any further than that as he gets a pat on the back and makes his way back to the dugout. New pitcher on for Chatham. We'll get you that line in just a moment, as it's a long run out. And it's Tate Carey who makes his way on. Originally, it seemed as if Carey may start today over Luke Jackson. He then was reassigned to the bullpen. He's already made 1 start this season as he takes the mound and begins his warm-up pitches. Jay Powell has made his way back to the dugout. While Carey warms up, we'll keep it here for a moment at Bourne Park, where most of the fans have already made their way for the exits, if you can call them that. Really just the parking lot. No fee to get in or out of Cape League games. Sky dark in Bourne. We'll have a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Bobby's driving through the city tonight, through the lights in a hot new rental car. Joins the lovers in his heavy machine. It's a seat down on Sunset Boulevard. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Johnny's taking care of things for a while, and his style is so right with troubadours.
Welcome back to Bourne Park on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. It's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen for the right-hander Tate Carey, 6'209", out of Michigan. The only player on the team from Canada. He faces Weber Niels. His first pitch, a fastball on the outer edge, called strike. The second appearance of the season for Tate Carey. He made 1 start this year, picked up a loss. 6.75 ERA in 4 innings pitched. The 0-1 at the knees, a fastball for a strike. In that game, Carey didn't walk anyone, but allowed 6 hits, striking out just 3. Checks over at the runner on first. It's Cade Lewis who takes a leadoff with 1 gone. Here's the 0-2. Just high. 3 consecutive fastballs from the right-hander Tate Carey. Chatham on top 8-2 in the bottom of the 8th. The Braves have pulled across a run in this frame, which knocked Dane Burns out of the game. 1-2. Skipped in the dirt. Miller sticks the glove out and blocks it to keep it in front of him. It was a pitch that was well out in front of the plate. And if Miller's glove didn't get over to that ball, it would have been a free 90 feet for Cade Lewis. Instead, he stands patient on first base, being held on by Chase Freilich. 2-2. Low and away yet again, and the count runs full on the first batter Tate Carey faces. Check over on first. Lewis is back in time with a head-first slide. No limit to how many times you can throw over in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Neal's cut through the fastball, and he's been held. Houses the bathrooms on the up. Houses the back from a strikeout. Bourne ends up picking up 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and leaving 1 runner left on base. Still a long way to go for.
Bouncing off,